Good morning children, welcome back to your English class. Today in this video we shall discuss the play The Merchant of Venice Act 2 Scene 7. The objectives of this video are, by the end of this video you will be able to understand the explanation of lines 41 to 82 of Act 2 Scene 7 of the play The Merchant of Venice. You will be able to understand the references and literary devices used in the lines 41 to 82. Children, in this scene, Portia and the Prince of Morocco appear on the stage. The prince examines all the inscriptions on the caskets. He tries to understand the meaning and message on each casket. The inscription on the leaden casket reads, "Who chooseth me must give and hazard all he hath." The prince rejects this casket because he is convinced that no noble person would choose such a casket. Then he goes near the silver casket where he reads these words, "Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves." The prince says that he deserves Portia more than anybody else because he has a high rank, noble birth and great power and wealth. Let us see what happens in this scene, children. In this scene, according to the Prince of Morocco, silver is inferior to gold 10 times. It is quite evident that Portia's portrait can't be in the silver casket. Now he goes to the golden casket which says, "Who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire." The prince is convinced that he deserves Portia, whom suitors from all corners of the world come to win. He therefore decides to choose the golden casket. But when he opens the casket, he finds an empty human skull holding a roll of paper in which it is written, "All that glitters is not gold." Now children, let us continue with the speech of the Prince of Morocco. Open your books at page number 68. The Hyrcanian deserts and the vasty wilds of wide Arabia are as thoroughfares now for princes to come view fair Portia. Children, write down the meanings of difficult words. Hyrcanian deserts means a desert region to the south of the Caspian Sea. Hyrcania was a province of the ancient Persian Empire. Vasty wilds means immense wilderness. As means like. Thoroughfares means main roads. To come view means to come to see. In these lines, the Prince of Morocco says that the Persian deserts and the vast barren plains of Arabia are crowded like streets with princes coming to see fair Portia. The watery kingdom, whose ambitious head spits in the face of heaven, is no bar to stop the foreign spirits. Watery kingdom means ocean. Whose ambitious head spits in the face of heaven means whose fierce waves beat against the sky. Throwing spray means spitting into the clouds. Bar means barrier. Foreign spirits mean suitors from abroad. Children, basically, Shakespeare thinks of the vast waves rising up in the storm and dashing their spray right to the sky. In these lines, the prince says that the ocean, whose ambitious waves throw drops up to the very heavens, is no barrier to stop those foreign suitors from coming to see Portia. Children, here personification is used. The ocean has been personified. But they come as over a brook to see fair Portia. One of these three contains her heavenly picture. As over a brook is a simile, children. Simile is a figure of speech comparing two unlike things that is often introduced by like or as. Now here, as over a brook means as if, merely, that means only stepping across a brook, as if the ocean were not more than a stream to cross. In these lines, the Prince of Morocco says that there is no barrier to stop these foreign adventures, but they come only stepping across a brook or a stream to see fair Portia. One of these three caskets contains her divine portrait. Let us read the gist of the lines. In these lines, the Prince of Morocco says that the Persian deserts and the vast wilderness of vast Arabia have become highways to princes coming to see fair Persia. Further, he says that the oceans, whose fierce waves throw up water to the heavens, are not a hurdle to stop these suitors from abroad. They come as if they were crossing a stream to visit fair Persia. One of these three caskets contains her divine image. It's like that lead contains her. 'Twere damnation to think so base a thought. It were too gross. Is it like means is it likely? 'Twere damnation means it would be worthy of condemnation. To think so base a thought means such a low thought would only be worthy of condemnation. It were too gross means lead is too coarse a metal. Further, the Prince of Morocco questions, is it likely that lead is worthy to contain it? Just as it would incur punishment to think a base thought in spiritual matters, so would it be false love for him to think so? It would be damnable to think so low a thought. To rib her cerecloth in the obscure grave. Rib means enfold. Cerecloth. The cerecloth was waxed cloth used to enclose a body in the coffin. Morocco says that lead would never be good enough for her wrapping when in the dark grave, much less worthy than to enclose her picture while she is alive. Obscure refers to dark. Or shall I think in silver she is immured, being 10 times undervalued? To tried gold, O sinful thought. In silver means in the silver casket. Immured means locked up. Undervalued means inferior in value. Tried means tested or genuine. Now here in these lines, the Prince of Morocco says that it is too coarse a metal, even to stiffen her winding sheet when she is put into the darkness of the grave. Or should he think that Portia is contained in silver, which is only a tenth of the value of pure gold? He thinks it to be a sinful thought. Never so rich a gem was set in worse than gold. It means never was so rich a gem set in a lesser metal. It was set in gold, a precious metal. Further, he says that so rich a gem was never set in anything less than gold. They have in England a coin that bears the figure of an angel. A gold coin on which the figure of an angel Saint Michael was shown on the coin in question. It was worth about 10 shillings. Now here the Prince of Morocco says that they have in England a gold coin which has the figure of an angel stamped on it, but that angel is carved on the gold. Stamped in gold, but that's inscribed upon. But here an angel in a golden bed lies all within. But here an angel in a golden bed means Portia's picture in the golden casket. Within means enclosed. That angel is only stamped on the surface of the gold, while this angel Portia lies completely surrounded by gold. Deliver me the key, here do I choose, and thrive I as I may. Deliver means give, thrive I as I may means whatever my success may be. Now here the Prince of Morocco says that here an angel lies entirely enclosed in a golden bed. He asks for the keys. He will choose gold casket and he leaves everything on his success. Let us read the gist of the lines. In these lines, the Prince of Morocco says that, is it possible that lead casket has the portrait of Portia? It would be bad to think so low a thought. It is an ordinary metal even to contain her winding sheet when she is put into the dark grave. Should he think that she is locked up in the silver casket, which is only a tenth of the worth of pure gold, and such a wicked thought it is. Further, he says that a rich gem was never set in anything less than gold. They have in England a gold coin which has a figure of an angel carved in gold and stamped on it. But here, an angel lies enclosed in a golden casket. He asks for the key and chooses the casket, whatever may be his chances. Let us proceed further. Portia, there, take it, prince, and if my form lie there, then I am yours. He unlocks the golden casket. Form means picture. Portia says to the Prince of Morocco to take the keys. Further, she says that if her picture is inside the casket, then she will marry him. And the Prince of Morocco unlocks the golden casket. In these lines, Portia says to the Prince of Morocco to take the keys. Further, she says that if her picture is inside the casket, then she will marry him. And the Prince of Morocco unlocks the golden casket. Morocco, oh hell, what have we here? A carrion death within whose empty eye there is a written scroll. I'll read the writing. A carrion death means a skull. Empty eye means hollow eye socket. Scroll means a roll of paper. On opening the golden casket, the Prince of Morocco exclaims, "What the hell?" He finds a dead skull, within whose hollow eye socket there is a roll of paper with writing, and then he says he will read the writing. Now, children, let us see what is inscribed on the golden casket. Now, children, the Prince of Morocco reads the inscription. All that glisters is not gold. Often have you heard that told. Many a man his life hath sold, but my outside to behold, only to see the gold which covers the outside. Gilded tombs do worms unfold. Glisters means glitters. His life hath sold means has given his whole life. But my outside to behold means only to see the gold which covers the outside of me. Gilded means gold plated. Unfold means contain. Now here tombs refers to a tomb may be a fine building covered with gold, but all that it contains is a mass of dead bones where worms live. This is a reminder to Morocco that he has been deceived by the outward appearance. Now, children, the Prince of Morocco reads aloud the inscription which says that all that glitters is not gold. And often many a man has given his life only to see the gold which covers the outside of golden casket. But gold-plated tombs have worms inside. Had you been as wise as bold, young in limbs, in judgment old, your answer had not been enscrolled. Fare you well, your suit is cold. Cold, indeed, and labor lost. Simile means the comparison of two unlike things. Here, it means that had he been as wise as bold, then he would have chosen the right casket. Old means experienced. Enscrolled means written so in the scroll. Your suit is cold means your hopes are dead. Further, the Prince of Morocco reads the inscription. Had he been as wise as brave, as sound in judgment as he is strong in body, then this would not have been the answer that appeared on the scroll for him. All his efforts had failed. Then farewell heat and welcome frost. Portia, adieu, I have too grieved a heart to take a tedious leave, thus losers part. Heat means fervent love. Frost means cold disappointment. Adieu means farewell. Grieved means sad. Tedious means formal. Part means depart. The Prince of Morocco bids farewell. He is too sad at heart to speak a more formal farewell. He says that a loser should depart. Prince of Morocco exit with his train, flourish of cornets. Portia, a gentle riddance, draw the curtains, go. Let all of his complexion choose me so. A gentle riddance means a happy deliverance. Go means let us go. Complexion means kind. In these lines, Portia remarks that she has got rid of a gentle fellow, still he is a riddance. She asks to draw the curtains and says to leave from there. Further, Portia wishes that may all of his kind, that means suitors like the Prince of Morocco, makes a similar choice. Similar choice by choosing the wrong casket. Let us read the gist of the lines. In these lines, Portia asks the Prince of Morocco to make his choice. If it contains a picture, then Portia will marry him. The Prince of Morocco finds a dead skull within whose hollow eye socket there is a roll of paper on which it is written, "All that glitters is not gold." Many a man has given his life to see the exterior of golden casket, but gold-plated tombs have worms inside. If the prince had been as wise as he is courageous, then judgment in his youthful body would not have been the answer that appeared on the scroll. All his hopes are dead. He bids goodbye to his love and welcome disappointment. He is too sad at heart to bid a more formal farewell and leaves with his followers. Portia gets rid of the prince and asks to draw the curtains. She wishes, may every suitor like him make a similar choice. Children, this brings us to the end of today's tutorial. Do the work sent to you in your SNAP homework. Thank you, students.